Imagine you're a teenage princess. The king dies, the throne should go to you. But instead, a powerful rival claims the crown for himself. Most people would give up. Isabella of Castile didn't in 1474. Her half-brother, King Henry IV, died, and the kingdom immediately exploded into chaos. Many nobles claimed Henry's daughter Joanna was not his real heir. Therefore, Isabella declared herself queen. But there was one problem. Portugal disagreed. Its king married Joanna, invaded Castile, and set out to seize the throne. Suddenly, Isabella wasn't fighting rumors anymore. She was fighting a war for her crown. Most rulers would have hidden behind palace walls. Isabella didn't. She crossed the kingdom, winning allies, raising armies, and convincing cities to support her. Little by little, the tide began to turn. Then came the Battle of Toro. Both sides claimed victory, but Isabella understood something more important than winning a battle. She needed to win the story. Therefore, she spread the message that her enemies had been defeated. Cities switched sides, nobles abandoned Joanna, and Portugal's gamble began to collapse after years of struggle. Portugal finally recognized Isabella as the rightful queen. The teenage princess nobody expected to rule had defeated an invasion, secured her throne, and changed history. Because once Isabella won the crown, she and Ferdinand united their kingdoms, reshaped Spain, and helped create one of the most powerful empires the world had ever seen. And none of it happens if a young princess loses the war everyone expected her to lose. But then Spain as we know it might never exist. But Isabella had won, and now she faced a new challenge. Ruling a kingdom that had spent years divided by conflict, many nobles had grown powerful during the chaos, and expected the new queen to reward them. However, Isabella had no intention of becoming a puppet. Therefore, she and Ferdinand began restoring royal authority, traveling across their lands, hearing cases personally, and making it clear that the crown, not the nobility, would rule the kingdom. But securing power inside Castile was only the beginning, because to the south, the last Muslim kingdom on the Iberian Peninsula still remained the Emirate of Granada. Therefore, Isabella and Ferdinand launched a campaign that would last for years. City after city, fortress after fortress slowly fell, until finally, in 1492, Granada surrendered, ending a struggle that had lasted for centuries across Spain. It seemed like Isabella had achieved the impossible. But that same year, another opportunity arrived, one that most rulers would have ignored. A sailor named Christopher Columbus appeared with an ambitious proposal. He believed he could reach Asia by sailing west across the ocean. Many experts thought he was wrong, and for years he failed to gain support. Therefore, he turned to Isabella, and after long negotiations, she agreed to back the voyage. It was a gamble, and nobody knew whether it would succeed. But when Columbus returned, he brought news of lands unknown to Europeans. And suddenly the world became much larger than anyone had imagined. What began as a risky investment would eventually help create one of the largest empires in history and bring unimaginable wealth and influence to Spain. By the end of her life, Isabella was no longer the teenage princess fighting for a crown. She was one of the most powerful rulers in Europe. A queen who had won a civil war, united kingdoms, defeated rivals, completed the Reconquista, and helped launch an age of exploration that changed the course of history, all because when the kingdom descended into chaos, she refused to surrender the throne that everyone thought she would lose.